Throne of the Lunar Soul is the fourth full-length album from Valdrin, a Cincinnati, Ohio area black metal band. I would say a symphonic black death metal band, and one that is very much in line with kind of the United States black metal response to groups like Dimmu Borgir and Dissection and things like that in the late 90s. Their style isn't necessarily built exactly from those bones necessarily, but it attempts its own lore and fashion of, I would say, shred happy and sort of dark, uh, nerdy black death metal. And I would say we're leaning much more into the black metal realm here, and not necessarily fully symphonic, but mostly symphonic with a bit of shred as we lean into this uh, very big double LP, which I guess the thing to say about this record is that the world has been expanded. We know a lot more about this, the lore involved with it, and now it's time to deliver songs that really hammer that lore into place. And he's done Carter Hicks, the kind of the main guy behind it, and the vocalist guitarist. As a dungeon synth project. He's got various other works where this is sort of his great work, and this is sort of the biggest record yet that sort of it sort of proves that it's possible to expand on this sort of Emperor and Diabolical Masquerade influenced sound. And the only, well, we'll see with this clip here is that it comes with a little bit less death metal involved in our expectations. So don't go into this record expecting the exact same thing that we've gotten from the first three records in this sort of story that's built up. The past two records, Effigy of Nightmares and whatnot, they were packed front to back with aggressive riffcraft, and that was really the focus, was the guitar work, and it wasn't so much about atmosphere as it was about rifling through riff after riff in this black death metal style that was heavily influenced by symphonic black metal and things like that. And they in this case, heavy metal has entered the equation, and a sense of space and grandeur has also, because they're telling a different story. Those last couple records were detailing sort of the antagonist's journey, and now we're in the protagonist sphere, and that means we get a much more elegant and sort of glowing return to the home city of the protagonist, and that means the record sounds very different from their last two in some respects. We can still recognize Valdrin, but we aren't getting such a riff-driven record as we are maybe a more of attempts at heavy metal songwriting in terms of injecting that into their 90s black metal influenced sound. Now, I think the best comparison is probably like a Bal Sagoth record, and as much as you might want to compare this band to Stormkeep because of the modern fidelity and some of the same influences, I think that this is a little bit more power metal. It's a little bit more if you compare like when Galder joined Dimmu Borgir versus after he joined, there was certainly a difference in the songwriting from then to that point, and this is leaning a little bit more playful in terms of its rhythms and its melodic development. I mean, I mentioned Blind Guardian in the review for a reason here. And what that means is I felt there was less substance to this record. It is much more stretched out, and we don't necessarily get into the epic feeling of it after a while. I think the first LP is very strong in making a first impression, and the second half, it does definitely goes places, but they aren't exactly heavy and riff driven all the time. There's some sort of hymnal work. There's some more dramatic pieces here. So if you're looking for a more atmospheric expansion of this band's sound, they very effectively do that. But it didn't necessarily, I guess it didn't blow my mind because there were so many big records coming out right at the same time that were really demanding of my time and attention. And this one was just, it was solid enough. It was a good record, but it wasn't memorable in the way that a lot of the things nearby, unfortunately, it just took away some of my attention from this record. So still a very high recommendation. This is still a very strong record, and one to return to over time and see how it holds up. I think that they've really reached a real high point in terms of their artistic sort of curation. I think that this record is very well balanced musically in terms of what the leadership of it is, in terms of the shredding, the vocals, and the keyboards. Everything is very well balanced in the way that it doesn't subvert the issues of late '90s black metal so much as it recreates them in a charming way. And I think that what we can kind of take from this record is that this is an ambitious band with telling kind of a cool story, and I'm looking forward to more of that. So this record released last weekend, so you can check it out now. And if you'd like, you can read a very detailed review that I've written about it on the website.
Voice aside, you and your own